Luxury meets adventure. Tech meets toughness. This is the Jaecoo J7, and it's here to redefine what an SUV can be. From its head-turning design to its off-road prowess, this ride is all about turning every drive into a statement. You're watching My.Na Cars with me, your favorite passenger princess, and today we are going to explore the Jaecoo J7. Stick around. Alright, so let's talk about what Jaecoo is. Well, Jaecoo started gaining popularity in 2023 when it was officially launched as a luxury sub-brand of Chery, which is one of China's top automakers. Yes, and the J7, which is one of the brand's very first models, has played a very significant role in boosting the brand's popularity. Now, Jaecoo is mostly popular in Southeast Asian markets, countries like Malaysia and Thailand, but as of late, it's actually gaining popularity in South Africa, where it recently secured a top 10 spot in new passenger car sales. But of course, I'm not really an expert. Let's get the expert here in, which is Ildiko, and Ildiko is going to be walking us through as we talk the exterior of this beautiful, fantastic, amazing baby. Hi, Ildiko. How are you?
I'm well, and you?
I am ecstatic.
You're so excited.
I am super excited.
That's awesome.
Yes, thank you so much for bringing this car for us.
Absolutely.
Yes, let's talk about the exterior. We need to talk about the design because obviously that's the first thing that people see.
Yes. The design is very sleek. It's very sophisticated. It's very aerodynamic. So the whole look and feel about the design is premium, prestige, at an affordable price.
At an affordable price.
Yes.
You know, when I was mentioning earlier about it being popular in countries, Southeast
Yes.
Asian market, it's in those countries really and truly where they're looking for more stylish but capable
Absolutely,
SUVs.
absolutely.
And I think the J7
Yeah.
is one of those.
If you look at the grille,
Yes.
I've got the key here. Even the lights, you see, it's the design is something so different than
And
what we
unique.
normally see.
Yes.
And the lights are very efficient as well. I mean, you'd look at it and think, sure, but the lights are small, but the LEDs are so strong, and the auto lights for when cars are coming towards you, they dim automatically.
Yes.
So the lighting is of really top quality.
I actually wanted to talk about that, like the checkerboard design here by the
Yes.
lights. That is something absolutely unique.
Yes, and it's very dynamic. So it plays around at night as well. So when the cars are coming from in front, it dims automatically. So there's still a light shining, the big one here, so that you can still see where you're going, but you don't blind the car coming from the front. And when the cars pass.
So please, people need
Yes.
to get the J7 so that they don't blind me when they're coming my way.
So when the car coming from in front of you has passed, then it goes back to all these checkered lights.
Wow, this is
Yeah.
absolutely fancy. The big grille design here, I feel like that was very intentional. It's very
Yes.
unique. And despite Jaecoo being a sub-brand of Chery, in a
Yes.
way, she's her own person.
Absolutely, she's caters for ladies and men alike. I mean,
Yes.
if you look at it, you think, oh, you know, it has a competitive feel. We won't mention who.
We won't mention who, but we all
won't
know.
mention, but we all know.
Yes.
And it's the emphasis is on quality yet affordable.
Yes.
That is, and also not skimming down on looks and making it look odd, or everything designed comes together and it just works.
And it just works. Let's take a walk around the car. Let's talk about, of course, the wheels. What wheels do we get on the Jaecoo J7?
They come standard with 19-inch wheels, and it's an all-terrain wheel because this vehicle is an all-wheel drive. So you can have wheels in the front, wheels to drive on normal gravel road, on sand, or on normal tar road. What's lovely about this car as well, and very few cars that we've seen actually have it, it's got a full-size spare wheel.
Yes, yes.
That's the same as the rim outside. Because I know sometimes you feel a little bit self-conscious to drive around with a little small thing. So this one you can effortlessly change. All the tools are there, and just pop the other one back in, and your rim is, no one will even know.
Yes,
no one will be none the wiser.
No one will be none the wiser. I was a bit worried about having a full-size tire at the back, because in a way that plays on the space, that does limit the space. But it seems like we still get plenty of space.
Absolutely. It's 415 liters boot space. What's nice is you can stack.
Yes.
A lot of a few of the cars, it's cut off here because the boot opens so widely. You can stack on top of each other. When the seats fold down, you've got 1,430 liters.
Whoa!
So you can, if there's nobody at the back, you can even
extend the space.
The space.
One thing I noticed. This is a very clever design element where we put the triangle here. I love this.
You know, this is what the manufacturers have thought about. They don't want things lying around, because it also creates noise and distractions and rattles and things like that. So everything is placed away that you can easily reach, but it's out of the way from being lost, and out of the way from obstructing any.
So basically what we're saying is Jaecoo is very intentional with everything that they did with the J7.
Yes, the design and the functionality, because that is also important. It must be a car that you can use every day.
Yes, it must be a car that we can use every day. And we are going to be bringing you, of course, some more specs, like engine size, all of that. We will be getting into that. But for now, because I am passenger princess, I deserve to drive around in nice things. So we had to get the aesthetics out of the way.
Absolutely.
But now, right after this, we are going to be getting inside the Jaecoo J7. I know you guys are obviously curious to see what it looks like. Let me just say, the passenger princess definitely approves, but if you don't take my word for it, stick around and we'll give you a full tour inside the Jaecoo J7. We are inside the Jaecoo J7, and boy, oh boy, if I wasn't sold before, I am definitely sold now. Oldiko wants to take all of my money. I know it. I know it. So starting off, the first thing that you notice when you get into the car is this big infotainment screen. And I know a lot of people were very skeptical about that and say, oh, whatever it is that people say about this big infotainment screen. But I absolutely love it. It's basically like having a tablet.
Absolutely. Even me, when I first saw this, I thought, wow, it is too big. But the more I drive and the more I interact with the car, I realize that it's nice to have things that are big, that you can see.
Yes.
You don't have to squint, and because the focus is to keep your eyes on the road.
Yes.
So when you glance over there, things must be big enough for you to see. You mustn't lean in, keeping your eyes off the road, which is a safety feature that people don't realize. But you know, once again, intentional. Yeah, so this is very interactive. We've got a talking bot there, so you can say whatever you need to say. For example, let's try open sunroof.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So it's got the voice. It's got the voice recognition. So small commands, and it'll tell you if you want to go to media, or if you want to go to a certain street. You obviously need to practice, but it's capable.
It's capable. You know, I actually like that feature, because even with our phones, when we're driving, all you just do is say, text so-and-so, text so-and-so. So now if my car can do that, and this has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So this is absolutely fantastic. And like you said, everything is very intentional on this. We have the gallery. We do have a camera here, right?
It's a built-in dash cam.
Dash cam, yes.
So all you need to do is you put in your your micro SD card. It records as you start driving. When you stop, it stops recording. So you don't even need to do anything. If it's full, it will tell you. It will tell you, and it will start overriding. So if you want to keep something, you do have to download it.
Okay. I see.
You know, and you can just push it there, and it says, you know, there it is, and it tells you, please, careful when you're driving. But there's the picture.
Oh my goodness.
and it's clear, so for insurance it's perfect.
It's
because,
perfect, yes.
you know, for accidents or anything like that. So it's really, like I say, things that you will use.
Yes. It's not just there.
It's
for
not
the
just
sake
there.
of being there.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I read somewhere that this car does have that feature whereby if your eyes are off the road for a bit, it will notify you.
It's actually, yes, it does, but it's more in tune with what's going on the steering wheel.
Okay, I see.
So if your hands are not completely on the steering wheel and there's slight movements, it will pick it up and detect. And if it doesn't get a response from you, it will automatically stop the car.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's talk about what other safety features come in this car.
It's got lane assist, so it will warn you if a car is coming in your blind spot, that you shouldn't change lanes. It'll actually keep you in your lane. Your steering wheel will vibrate. It's got detection auto cruise control, so the adaptive cruise control, where it'll follow a car at a certain speed, and if the car stops, your car will stop.
Oh, okay. I need. This is not a
Yes.
want. This is a need at this point. Let's talk about the steering wheel. I'm saying it's a bit of an interactive.
Yes.
No, sorry. Before we get into that, the engine start to stop, the push to start button.
Yes.
It is so cleverly placed.
Cleverly placed,
And
yes.
it's so design oriented.
Yes.
It's not just a random chunky button there.
Absolutely, because when you get into your car, you don't want to look for things.
Yes.
That's the last thing you want to do. You just want to slide your hand without moving forward. Your seat is in the right position and you just push the button. The nice thing also about the parking brake is that it deactivates automatically.
Whoa.
And it activates automatically when you put it in park. So in case you forget, when you open the door, your car's parked and the safety brake is on.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I am in love with this car. I think in love is even an understatement.
You know, just to give you an idea, I mean, you can, all these features, there is so many things that you can, it'll take us an hour to go through all of
Yes.
this. But I don't know if you've noticed, it's got ambient lighting, you know, where you can change different colors. You can even mix up the colors, or you can just have recommended ones, or you can link them to your driving modes. For example, if you're in off-road or sport.
And even has musical rhythm. Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Yeah.
This car really and truly, you know how they say boys and their toys? This is going to be
Yes.
Diana and her toy, because I am in love with this car.
Absolutely. So you have got various, sometimes this can be very bright.
Yes.
So you can have a night mode.
A night mode, a dark mode.
A dark mode.
I think
or-
especially with Gen Z, we love everything on dark mode.
Absolutely. And it's so interactive that you can make this car your own. It will
Yes.
never be like somebody else who's bought the same car, the features will be the same because it's designed to what you prefer.
Yes.
I mean, your sound, you can have certain ringtones when messages come through and things like that. What's nice, I don't know if you've noticed the seats.
Yes, I was going to move to the seats. This is absolutely luxurious.
Besides the absolutely top quality leather that we use, the seat for the person at the back, you've noticed that there are controls on the side. Sometimes the passenger's seat or the front seat is on the passenger's knee,
Yes.
and he or she can actually move the seat forward
Oh,
without coming
I
to the front to do
see.
it. They can get in and just move it forward and back, or the backrest, so that they're comfortable at the back.
Again,
Yeah,
intentional.
intentional.
Love
Yeah.
it. And then of course, let's just quickly take a look at all of these, and then the panoramic sunroof. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
This is, I think this car, everything about this car is absolutely beautiful. And despite it being a mid-size SUV, there's a lot of space.
There's a
There's
lot of space.
plenty of space, especially at the back. As somebody who's very tall, okay, I'm not very tall, but I do have long legs, so that's always been an issue. But when I sat at the back, absolutely comfortable. I'm sitting in the front right now. I have plenty of space. I go to the back, plenty of space.
Exactly. So you've got these buttons here where you can close the sunroof and you can lift it, or you can close the sun visor. Another absolutely intentional thing is that the glass only opens halfway.
Okay.
The reason being is for kids. Sometimes
see.
kids should always be strapped in, but sometimes when they're not, it prevents distraction from the passenger front and driver front to see what's going on, so that they can't stick their fingers out and jump on the seats and things like that. So it only opens halfway. But just to also go back to the seats, you will notice that it's got little perforated things in the seats. And that once again is intentional, because you have cooling and heating on your seats.
Love it.
Yeah.
And I think when you said, I don't know if it has the driver mode, because I felt or heard the seat adjust to you.
What's perfect about this car is it's also got an entry and exit mode on the seat.
Wow.
So when you get out, it actually moves the seat a little bit back so that you don't hit your knees on the steering wheel.
Oh my goodness.
Same when you come in, so that you have easy access in. And then if you are the only driver, or most of the time, say 60% of the driver, it will store your settings in already. There's no button that you have to push and say seat memory.
Yes.
It does it automatically.
Oh my
It remembers your settings.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then of course we do have the wireless
charging.
We have these beautiful shaped cup
cup
holders.
holders,
They're not your
absolutely.
typical round shape. They are a bit like hexagonal,
Yes.
I think. And then
What's also very nice, and most people are surprised, is that you have a little cooler inside.
Wow.
So it works with the air conditioning.
Yes.
It's not a fridge as such, but it keeps cold things cool and warm things warm for a little bit longer.
I love it.
Yes. So if you've got some warm things, it'll keep it a little bit warmer. If you've got cool things, it'll keep it cool.
You know what? I think we need to have a wow counter on this episode, because the amount of times I've said wow is insane.
And the pouch is
The
really...
pouch is also
Yeah,
leather.
it's leather.
It matches the seat.
It matches the seats, and it's something that your books won't get dirty. It won't get lost. It really is
This
premium.
is an absolutely beautiful car. Again, stylish, capable, yet affordable.
And then I just wanted to bring your attention. Remember, we spoke about the all-wheel drive.
Yes.
So the all-wheel drive is just operated with this button here. And to give you an idea, it gives you a normal mode, an eco mode, off-road.
Off-road
It
mode.
even shows you the picture
Sand
if you're
mode.
not sure what mode you should be in.
Oh my
Sand,
goodness.
mud.
Mode.
Oh my goodness.
You've noticed that the bot does talk to you. You have the option to switch that off. Or you can make it softer or whatever. So it's a very interactive car.
Very interactive car. This is absolutely beautiful. But you know what? The amount of times I've said wow, the amount of times I've said beautiful, the amount of times I've said, oh my goodness. Yes, these are all very genuine reactions. But then now let's get into the test drive. The moment you've all been waiting for, to see just how well the J7 drives on our Namibian roads. Stick around. I found my perfect car. There's no questions about it. But anyway, we're now going to go for the test drive. And as you can see here, everything, all of our surroundings, we can see them nice and clearly. There's that aerial view that she was talking about. Then, of course, we are seeing what is right in front of us. So now we are going to go, and of course, we are going to be talking the other features that we didn't get to touch on, because, as Aldika said, this would take us probably half a day to go through all the features of this car. All right, so we are strapped in.
Yeah, so the cameras are on because we are going to be driving, but should we go into reverse, it'll change to the back one. The aerial views will still remain the same. So yes, let's go.
A smart car.
A smart car.
A very smart car indeed, for a smart girl like me. Duh. Okay, so Ildiko, let's talk about the engine of this baby.
Okay, so this particular car, in fact, all the J7s, whether it's all-wheel drive or whether it's front-wheel drive, is a 1.6 turbo petrol.
Okay.
It's a 7-speed automatic gearbox, and it's a dual clutch system, drivetrain. So you don't have to worry about turbo lags or anything. it just goes. And as you can, I don't know if you can hear the silence, but the engine is actually quite quiet.
It's very quiet. The only thing that we are, I think, picking up is the AC. But even that is not ridiculously loud.
Yes, and like I say, you can adjust it on the screen as you prefer, or even have it in auto mode.
Oh my goodness. Just listen to the...
Yeah, so you've even got like a sport mode as well. So if you want to get your revs a little bit higher. So speaking of the power, it's 145 kilowatt.
Okay.
And a 280 Newton meter engine.
280 Newton meters of torque.
Of torque, yes.
Okay. All right. I think with you said 1.6 liter. You know what? I think a lot of the times people think that they overlook the 1.6 liter. But I think it's one of those things whereby this car is still, you're still getting enough power for the torque, but you're not putting too much, you're not paying too much, or rather for engine size and all of that. So you're still getting everything that you need with this car.
And once again, the manufacturers have thought about the global situation.
Yes.
They've concentrated on smaller engines to keep the CO2 emissions down, to become more environmental friendly.
Yes.
And they've increased the power. So that's the reasoning behind it. Is fuel efficient as well. A smaller engine uses less fuel.
What are we talking about when it comes to fuel?
Yes, on average it's 7 liters per 100.
7 liters per 100.
Yes.
That's pretty good for an SUV.
Yeah, and it's tested on 100 kilometers per hour at a range of 100 kilometers driven. So obviously from time to time, depending on how fast you drive, it could change.
Yes.
But that is the average.
But the average is
7 liters.
7 liters. Considering that most SUVs range between 8 to 12, I think 7 liters is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Because most SUVs range 8 to 12 per 100. So this, like you said, obviously this depends on how you're driving and all of that. Okay, that is absolutely fantastic. Again, you're still getting enough power. You're still getting good fuel efficiency. I think this car is literally ticking all of the boxes.
Absolutely. And, you know, as we go further on in the future, you know, when we're talking about electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles, the focus is on environmental the damage that's already been done. So we don't want to add more damage. Exactly. So you do have cars that are still with the higher engines, even in the Moda and Jaecoo range. But for now, for the J7, I think it's a beautiful all-rounder with good fuel consumption, and you know, there's nothing wrong with the power. It's got a turbocharge, so if you need to put your foot down, it moves.
It does move.
You know,
I love it.
The braking is responsive, so you don't have to be in a situation where you are afraid or anything. So it responds quickly. If you need to brake quickly, it responds.
It will respond. Yes. That is fantastic. All right. So now the question that we've been dying to know since we laid our eyes on this beautiful beast. How much are we talking for all of these features?
Well, let me ask you this. Everything that you've seen and heard and, you know, experienced, what do you think you would pay for this car?
So, if I had to price this car, I would say for entry model, probably 800. Wow. Entry model. Wow. Because I mean, look at all these features that we saw, right? But then obviously when you read up more about Jaecoo and how it's like, people love it because it's capable but affordable. Yes. So now I'm torn. I'm like, okay, maybe.
This is actually the one we're driving, the all-wheel drive car, is actually the top of the range. We do have a front-wheel drive version. And, you know, the price that you mentioned, the basic, although the features are all the same, but just the front-wheel drive version is coming in at 630.
What?
This car is coming in at 700,000.
Oh my
for all-wheel drive, for all the things that we've seen, and so much more that we haven't really even experienced.
Oh my
But you can trust me, it's all there.
It's all there. Oh my goodness. All right, and what are our warranty options looking like? Service plans, all of that?
You won't believe it, actually. The engine comes with a warranty of 1 million kilometers.
What?
Or 10 years. Can you handle it?
Oh my goodness.
The manufacturers have so much trust in the
And confidence.
confidence in their product that they've just given that away and said that, here you go. And on the normal other things like your CV joints and gearbox and things, it's 5 years, 150,000 kilometers.
Okay.
And if that's not enough, it comes with a 5-year, 70,000 service plan as well, included in that price.
Oh my goodness. I am in awe. This is unbelievable. I never, ever expected it. Because what? I never expected it. I cannot. I am in shock. Please, what do I need to do to just drive away with this car right now? Like, I just need it. Please, guys. I know I've said it before every episode, but I mean it this time. I'm being for real this time, because honestly speaking, this car has the passenger princess's stamp of approval. Everything about this car, like, if you don't take my word for it, just make your way to Novel, and then you can talk to Ildiko or her team, and then you can actually test drive this car.
Yes,
See for
absolutely.
yourself.
You're welcome to come test drive this car.
And see it for yourself, because it's a smooth ride. You get all of these features, all for a fraction of the price. Like I said, if it was my car, I'd probably charge like $1 million for it. I'd rent it out to you guys for $1 million, but that's because I'm a nice person. But anyway, Ildiko, thank you so very much
welcome.
for
Thank
this
you.
first look at the Jaecoo J7. We did say that we are going to be testing it to the extremes a little later on to actually see how it performs long distance and all of that.
So stay tuned.
So stay tuned. But for now, this was the first look at the Jaecoo J7. And like I said, Passenger Princess definitely approves. That's it for this week's episode of My.Na Cars. For me, Diana Master, and Ildiko from Jaecoo. It's been an absolutely fantastic ride. We'll be seeing you again soon. Stick around.